2, 1.
Alright. Aaron and I did a drawn on film.
So,
I was involved. We got leader from the archives so we could have a color. Hey, I'm justifying here. We got leader from the archives so we could do color. It's about persistence because the concept behind a drawn on film is persistence of vision because we draw a bunch of pictures and they're moving together.
nice.
And so then it's persistence of vision because it looks like motion. It's a reversal because the first half is done with actual film and the second half is done with leader. So the first half is in black and like yellowish white and the other half is in color. So it's a reversal, like it's a complete change. It's bullet time because some sections of the film are slowed down in comparison to the others, such as the parts where there's letters on the screen that we slowed down so you could actually read what it was saying. A dramatic pause. There is a dramatic pause in between the first part and the second part. Like there's a pause before my stuff starts appearing. The numbers 3.51 appear in one of the frames. Details. One of the details that you could easily miss if you're, hey, this is my big sib on the back. I just realized that. That's cool. Okay, one of the details you could easily miss is one of the names that appears on in the role is Norman McLaren, and he's the guy. He's a drawn on film artist, and we like looked him up and watched a lot of his stuff before we made this project. And so if you miss that, then you would like miss the concept of the drawn on film, which is kind of like trying to mimic his style and doing a lot of his things with color and a lot of his things with lines. And so then if you notice that, you would be able to tell that, hey, this is like a thing. It's about sexuality because there's a segment that's about Beauty and the Beast, and then there's this one part, so it has his eyes, and then it has his lips, and then his lips turn into an apple, and the apple gets eaten. There's a chase because at one point in it, there's the gold, silver, and bronze, and they're running after each other like in a race, and so they're chasing each other. It's about diligence because it took a lot of work to make this, and it's punched out, so it doesn't get any points, so it doesn't matter. It's about madness because if you watch this enough times like I did, like I went insane. Like there's a lot of really fast motion. And right place, wrong time. One of the last shots one of the last frames is a line that is just across the thing, and that's in the color section. And it's in the right place, but at the wrong time, because it's in the right place on the frame, but it's at the wrong time. It should be at the beginning, because that's when all the lines and stuff are. Like that's the lines and like squares and all the angular geometric forms, whereas the color part is not so much like that. There's a flock of birds in one of those shots. It's a split personality because if you were watching this and you thought one person made it, you'll be like, whoa, that person is like messed up. Because they're two completely different segments and they look very different, and that's because they're made by different people. Audience deception. You might start watching the video and you might think it's a dubstep video because it's dubstep and the stuff goes really well with it, but then it switches to like fancy colors and orchestral music. There is an airplane in it. It's bait and switch because you think it's going to be a dubstep video, but it's not. It's emotional disconnect because, what was the reasoning behind this one? It was emotional disconnect because, there's a lot of like colors and lines and stuff, but none of it really has like a purpose. It's not like it has a purpose because we like chose it specifically, but it's not like it's telling a story. We don't have like emotional investment in each one of the things that we did. It's like emotional investment overall, not in the individual things. So there's a rose in it. There's an intermission because I literally spell out intermission in it, and there's also a pause. We're breaking a rule because you're not supposed to draw on film. That's not how film works, but we did. Ambition, it was an ambitious project. There's Laszlo Kovacs is named. Psychological torment, if you watch it long enough, it will get really tormenting. And the first part is very like, rah. That's like how I would describe it. Like male gaze. It's about the male gaze because the first part was made by a guy and the second part was made by a girl, and so you could probably analyze it and like come up with differences. Lost innocence. There's a part with a gun, and like it's a sun, and then it kind of turns into a gun, and then it shoots a bullet, and so it's like there's that innocence of like the flower and the sun and stuff like that, and then it's like violent. Stolen object. We stole a pushpin and a paperclip to scratch out on the film. It's a bright light because the film was created. You shine a bright light onto the film when you're like you're transmitting it into digital. Like that's how like you shine the light through the film and then it projects. Oh, and it just oh password.
Don't
Is
panic.
it still filming? Hello.
It
It
is.
might still be filming. This is just a pause. We are taking an intermission.
A dramatic pause.
Hello, we're the game runners.
Hello, it works again. Okay, bright light. That's yeah. Military because there's a gun and like a tank and stuff. Adaptability because a lot of like the stuff that I did with the color stuff, there's like circles and they like grow and then they're like adapting to the like confined space that they're in. Like they just like continue to adapt and change and it's kind of like morphing. It's very cool. Insubordination. We're not supposed to draw on film, but we did and it was really, really fun. You should try it.
Goodbye.